Changli, the queen of Quickswap teams, is back, and I have brought to you a latest and updated guide for her. She is one of the most flexible characters in the game, as you can play her as both Hypercarry or hybrid DPS. And due to her Quickswap abilities, she can fit into many teams. This video contains everything you need to know about her, which includes her kit, best builds, teams, rotations, sequences, and her pros and cons. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So first, let's talk about Changli's true sight attacks as her kit revolves around them. Changli enters into true sight state after using her resonance skill, which can be casted twice, from her intro skill and from the fourth hit of her basic attacks combo. If she uses a ground basic attack in this state, she will dash towards the enemy and deal damage. This attack is called as True Sight Conquest. If she jumps or uses a mid-air basic attack in this state, she will turn into this phoenix and deal damage. This attack is called as True Sight Charge. These attacks are very important as Changli gains her 40 circuit stacks from them. Aside from these attacks, the only other way she can get her 40 stacks is from her Liberation. The Liberation deals a nuke damage and gives her 4 stacks of her 40 circuit. On having 4 stacks, Changli can use a special heavy attack to deal a good amount of damage. This damage is considered as resonance skill damage. If she uses this special heavy attack within 10 seconds of casting her Liberation, its attack is increased by 25%. This attack and her Liberation are buffed by Changli's second inherent skill, which increases the fusion damage bonus of these attacks by 20%, and Changli ignores 15% of target's defense while casting them. Changli's True Sight attacks gain 5% fusion damage bonus for each stack of 40 circuit she has. With 4 stacks, she gains 20% fusion damage bonus. The True Sight Conquest, her skill and Liberation are amazing gap closers as they let you dash or teleport towards the enemies. One more thing worth mentioning is that Changli's outfit changes depending on how many Forte stacks she has. This change also reflects in her ultimate animation. And with 4 stacks, her Liberation turns into. However, we will mostly never be using her Liberation while she has 4 stacks of her Forte, as it will completely waste the 4 stacks we gain from using it. For her talent priority, Resonance Skill, Forte Circuit, and Resonance Liberation are her top priority skills. Then you can level her basic attacks, depending on how you use her. If you never use her basic attacks, then skip it. And the intro can be leveled slightly or skipped. Moving on to her weapons, her best weapon is obviously going to be her signature weapon, Blazing Brilliance. It gives permanent 12% attack and a stackable resonance skill damage bonus up to 56%. This weapon in general is an amazing option for most DPS carries due to its high crit damage and easy to stack passive. However, for Changli, unlike the signature of other characters, it is only a 10% increase over her next best option, which is Emerald of Genesis, the standard 5-star weapon, and its passive can be easily stacked by Changli as she can cast her skill twice. It also provides energy regen, letting you build more offensive stats on her. The next close option is Camelia's signature weapon, Red Spring. It only acts as a stat stick and can be better than the Emerald of Genesis due to its permanent 12% attack buff if you don't need the energy regen. And for 4-star options, you can use the Commando of Conviction, Endless Collapse, Lunar Cutter, or the Somnor Anchor. You can see their rankings here. Moving on to her echoes. Changli's echo sets and stats are quite straightforward. She needs the Molten Rift echo set with the Nightmare Inferno Rider echo skill. Not the normal Inferno Rider, but the new Nightmare variant, as its buffs are the best for her while also being unconditional. The echo skill can be swap cancelled. For her echo stats, crit rate or damage on the 4 cost depending on your stats. Try to get at least 60% crit rate. Double fusion damage, or a combination of 1 attack and 1 fusion damage bonus on the 3 cost echo. Since Changli gets a lot of fusion damage bonuses from her kit, the attack percent combination is very close to the double fusion damage, and attack percent on 1 cost echoes. For her energy requirements, since Changli's Liberation is an important part of her kit, as it deals a big chunk of damage while also giving her max Forte stacks, it is essential to have it available at the correct time. Thankfully, it has a low energy cost of 125, so try to get around 10 to 20% energy regen on her. For her echo substats, get the required amount of energy regen, then crit stats, attack percent, resonance, skill damage bonus, and flat attack. Moving on to her team comps. There are various different ways to use Changli. You can use her as a Quickswap DPS, as a Hypercarry, or even as a sub DPS due to her outrow buff. But first, I would like to talk about Brant and their synergy. Brant's addition has been a massive boost for Changli, making her teams even better, especially the Hypercarry teams. The majority of Changli's skills can effectively utilize Brant's massive 20% fusion and 25% skill damage amplify outro buff, greatly increasing her damage. Brant's own damage is nothing to laugh at either. This makes their combination extremely strong. Do note that when you swap out Changli, Brant's outro boost will be gone. I have made a complete quick swap guide for Brant, which you can watch after this video. For Quickswap playstyle, aside from Brant, you can play her with literally any other DPS character that has many swap cancel windows. Changli Yao is a very famous pick to pair with Changli, as he can slow time while also having many swap cancel windows. Carlotta, Jinxie, Havoc Rover, even the Spectro Rover, Encore, Calcharo, etc. are some other carries with swap cancel windows. You can use her with Chixia or Encore as a dual DPS team, where Chixia or Encore fully utilize Changli's outrow buff. For a Hypercarry playstyle, Jeji is another amazing support, as she can buff resonance skill damage while also dealing some nice off-field damage. Yang Yang or Sanhua are some budget options that you can use. And the empty spots can be filled with a sustained support like Varina, Shorekeeper, or Baiji. You can also run triple DPS team comps with 3 DPS characters with swap cancel windows. This team has become stronger due to Brant, as he can take care of sustainability as well. Now, Quickswap or Hypercarry, which is better? I have covered this in detail in one of my videos, so I will let you know it in short here. Changli's true potential comes out in Quickswap teams, as swap canceling helps us deal damage while Changli completes her relatively long animations. This also keeps her safe. But Quickswap playstyle is very difficult to execute for most casual players. She works decently in Hypercarry teams, but not as good as Quickswap teams. However, her Hypercarry teams are very easy to use. If you're not able to execute her Quickswap playstyle properly, it's better to stick with Hypercarry playstyle. Moving on to her rotations. For all the teams, I recommend starting your fight with Changli's opener combo, which includes using her Liberation, followed by her Forte Heavy Attack, which can be swap cancelled. And by the time you do Changli's rotations, you should be able to get the Liberation back, so there are no downsides to it. Now, let's start with her Hypercarry rotation. There are 2 ways to do her rotations in this playstyle: a basic single intro rotation and a double intro rotation. The double intro rotation's main downside is that it doesn't let your sub DPS get an intro, but with characters that don't need an intro to fill their concerto like Brant, Sanhua, or Yang Yang, it leads to an overall team DPS increase. The single intro method makes use of Changli's basic attacks to gain a stack of her Forte, as the intro skill lets her directly start from basic attack stage 3. Even though it is only 2 attacks, she can easily get interrupted while casting it. It can be easier to use for casual players. So the double intro rotation is like, after your sustained support like Varina or Shorekeeper, intro to Changli, use her True Sight charge attack by pressing a basic attack, use her resonance skill, use True Sight Conquest and swap cancel to your sub DPS. Do their rotation, then intro to Changli and do the same combo. This will give her all 4 Forte stacks. Use her Forte Heavy Attack, then Liberation, followed by another Forte Heavy Attack, which can be swap cancelled. The single intro rotation will be as follows: intro to Changli, then True Sight charge, followed by a plunge attack, basic attack stage 3, 4, and True Sight Conquest. This will give you 2 Forte stacks, and the other 2 can be gained using her Resonance skill plus True Sight Conquest combo. Use the Forte Heavy Attack on getting 4 stacks, then Liberation, and use her Forte Heavy Attack again, which can be swap cancelled. Now let's talk about all her swap cancel windows. Almost all of Changli's attacks can be easily swap cancelled, which includes her Resonance skill, True Sight attacks, and her Forte Heavy Attack. Even the fourth basic attack hit can be swap cancelled, but her basic attacks are almost never used. Swap cancelling gives you a lot of safety because it makes Changli immune to damage. But more importantly, if done correctly, it lets you play two characters simultaneously. It is recommended to swap cancel almost every stage of her attack for maximum efficiency. While preparing your supports, you can use her skill, then swap cancel it, then go back to Changli and use the True Sight attack and swap cancel it. Also, while using her with Brant, try to use Brant's outrow when Changli has her forte ready, so that you can execute her heavy attack liberation, heavy attack combo while Changli is buffed. Here's a short showcase of her Quickswap team. You can slow it down if you want. Moving on to her sequences, I will quickly go over them, letting you know if they are worth or not. Her first sequence is definitely not worth it. It is just a 2 to 3% damage increase. The resistance to interruption is also wasted when played in Quickswap teams. Her second sequence is quite good as it gives 25% crit rate. The third sequence gives multiplier boost to her liberation, which is only around 10% damage increase. The fourth sequence is a team-wide attack buff. Can be useful for Quickswap teams but not worth it. The fifth sequence provides a sizable damage increase as it buffs her forte heavy attack. And the last sequence basically doubles her damage from her S0. It lets her ignore 40% of enemies' defense. For F2P or low spenders, instead of going for her sequences, it would be better to go for her signature, which is cheaper and can be used on other characters. So overall, Changli is a very strong character who can fit in multiple teams due to her ability to swap cancel and outrow buff, while also dealing massive amounts of damage. She is top-tier character, especially for players that can execute Quickswap, as it unlocks her highest potential and keeps her safe. For casual players using her without swap cancel, her performance drops drastically and loses her flexibility, but she is still a decent character, able to clear the hardest contents with the right team and builds. Let me know in comments what playstyle you prefer for Changli. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Thanks for watching.